Today, we are talking about the new Spider-Man movie. Hello, and welcome to Beer League Benchwarmers, the podcast where we have our thoughts. And he said, hey, why not? Let's record it and put it all together. I'm Sean, always joined with Jake and Rick. Kyle is too busy for us today, so figured, fuck it, we're going to do this. We put it off. We were trying to get stuff done over the holidays to get it going, and all of us were so busy, so didn't get to record in New York. So, hey, guess what? I'm back in Texas, so let's get this shit going, fellas. How we doing, guys? How was your holiday?
Fine.
Yeah,
It's a holiday.
Yep, I'm glad it's done.
right? I like the holidays. It was nice going home, but holy shit, it was just hectic, nonstop every fucking day.
Yeah.
Jake's lives in New York and it's nonstop.
I was gonna say, honestly, like that is one perk to still being in Western New York is I kind of rip it off like a Band-Aid, but like when you guys come home, or like when Kyle, he's got family coming in from out of town, it's this day that you do this, that day you do this like it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
For me, it's pretty much just 3 days and then I'm done.
It's a reunion tour when you come back.
Yeah, man. It's like
Fucking A.
I hooked up with Jake. I hooked up with another friend. I hung out with my brother.
Bought me dinner first? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Hung out with my brother a couple times. Had family come over. Did stuff with my nephews while they were in town. Which, when I was there, they were there. We went and saw Spider-Man. So
I heard that's a good movie.
yeah, it wasn't bad.
No, I've seen it. Sean, you've seen it. Rick, have you seen it yet? But you're okay with spoilers.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I know some spoilers already, so I don't care. I'll see the
Right.
movie.
Full disclosure, since we are talking about it,
Yep, it's
if you
very
haven't
spoiler
seen it,
alert.
there will be spoilers. So
Yes.
Spoiler alert! I think
Yeah.
there's more than one Spider-Man. I think I haven't seen it.
All right, so let's dive right into it. Jake, I know we've talked previously off air, but how do you feel?
it was a really good movie. I'm glad I went to the theaters to see it. I know a lot of people have it as the best Marvel movie. I think that's such a knee-jerk reaction. I think like after you see it, you're like, wow, that was a really good movie. That's the best movie, blah, 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 blah. And then like once you think about it, it's like, it was a good movie. It was probably top 5, top 10 Marvel movie, but not top 3, not the top 1 in my eyes. I think the plot is very lacking, which the other two Spider-Man movies plots were so to begin with, but there's so much nostalgia, and I think that's what everybody has gravitated towards is the nostalgia factor of it all. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, if you watch it for a second time, well, now you know this is going to happen. This guy's going to be here. That guy's going to be here. So it doesn't, the wow factor, which I guess is really any movie, but the wow factor, especially with this movie that hinges so much on nostalgia, is just tarnish the rewatchability of it. Like that's my spoiler-free answer of it. Now, obviously, we can dive into spoilers, but Sean, what did you think of it first?
I mean, yeah, the nostalgia factor for sure. That was definitely a huge part. And then after talking to you about everything, it's like the way how the plot worked out at what he wanted to have done in the movie, or he wanted everybody to forget who he was, and he kept changing it and wanting to do this, and then the movie ended. Well, just make everybody forget me. Well, you could have fucking done that in the beginning, and it would have been a 35-minute movie, the whole fucking movie. Like,
Movie
all right.
could have ended. So I guess we're jumping into spoilers.
Sorry.
So no, it's perfectly fine. I got no problem with it. So basically, it starts right from Far From Home, right?
Right at the end, yeah, the end credit scene of Far From Home,
where they find out Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and they pick up immediately from there. So then it's basically they're on trial. Daredevil shows up, and
it's badass, by the way.
Yes, it's really cool, and there's rumors that he's going to be involved in other MCU projects, which is awesome. I really do like the Daredevil series on Netflix. It gets a little dried out, but most superhero series do. So he shows up, protects Peter. He's pretty much clean, but then they're trying to get into MIT, and basically because of Ned and MJ and Peter Parker all being affiliated with Spider-Man, they're being denied all these schools, blah, blah, blah. Their lives are ruined. Like most teenagers think their lives are when they get told no. So Peter Parker goes to Doctor Strange and basically is like, I want to fix this because you make people forget about it. So then he's making a spell, and Peter Parker is like, well, I want MJ to remember that I'm Spider-Man. I want MJ. I want this. I want that. I want that. And then the fucking multi-universe rift opens up pretty much, but you don't know it yet. So anyways,
Doctor Strange contained it.
Yes, he at least he thought he did.
Yeah.
Fast forward, Doc Ock shows up. He's attacking Peter Parker, and he's like, oh, you're not my Peter Parker. But the Stark Tech, the nanotech, goes onto the tentacles of Doc Ock and pretty much restrains him. And then Green Goblin shows up. And then later on, Electro shows up, Sandman shows up, and we can just stop right there and we can talk about what I just basically ran down. It was cool seeing all those original actors show up for their roles
as the villains, which is cool. Which honestly, I was a little concerned because other than knowing that Doc Ock was actually the same actor because you could see him, but we didn't know at first about Green Goblin. We just knew the little bit teasers here and there. We're like, all right, maybe they're just, recasting these roles, but then it was neat that it ended up being them.
William Dafoe, you could tell by the
laugh,
cackle, the laugh,
yep.
Whatever you want to call it, yeah, that he was. Jamie Foxx, he was already confirmed that he was redoing his. And then, Lizard, he was in it as well. Yep. So Sandman and Lizard basically were just CGI'd with using some of the audio
from the originals.
Yeah. I think it's cool. But as you can see where we're going, just completely fast forward to the end of the movie, everything's fucking happening, and he tells Doctor Strange shut up, cat. He tells Doctor Strange to make everybody forget about him. And it's, well, that happened in the first half hour of the movie. Like,
yeah, you could have done that right away, man.
I mean, it's a movie. I get it. It's meant for entertainment purposes, but it's like, man, kind of feel like I not wasted, but it's like, I guess wasted really is the only way to put it. Wasted 2 hours of my life just to do what you were just going to do in the first place. I mean, those 2 hours were fun, but
jam-packed.
Yeah. Any questions, Rick, since you haven't seen it?
Was there more than one Spider-Man?
All right. So
that's all I want to know. Did King Toby come back?
Ned and MJ got split up from Peter Parker. I forget why. Oh, because the containment broke. Blah, blah, blah. They were split up, and they're trying to find Tom Holland. I guess now we have to use their actor names.
Well, first, Peter wanted to stop Doctor Strange from destroying everything and killing the villains that he had captured by just pushing a button on this spell that he had contained, and it would have ended everything. And so Peter and Doctor Strange end up getting a fight, and he separates him from the group, and he gets his ring that makes the portals open up, and he gave it to Ned. So Ned somehow gained the ability or figured out how to do the fucking thing to make this portals open up, and Ned started opening up portals that led to Peter Parker's. Well,
Yeah.
what he thought was his Peter Parker.
His grandma's house, Ned's grandma's house. He's like, oh, find Peter Parker. And then all of a sudden you see Spider-Man. And he's just like, anyways. And then he like kind of
like, Peter.
And then it's Andrew Garfield. Oh my God. Because, I guess that's what Spider-Man does. He just sees a weird portal and he just walks through it without really caring. And then like that, it was a fun interaction when he first see Andrew Garfield. Obviously the fucking theater.
The comedy.
Erupted.
Yeah.
And then, like, long story short, they're like, oh, you're not our Peter Parker. So then it's, let's try to find Peter Parker. And then, oh my God, it's Toby Maguire! But he's not in his Spider-Man outfit. So he's just kind of like standing there. And he says something that made me really question, like, what the hell's going on? Because he's like, oh, I've seen you two before. He pointed to Ned and MJ, but I haven't seen you before. Talking about Andrew Garfield. And it's like, well, how have you seen them? So my guess is that he was first pulled in when everything was going to hell in the first place. Like that portal in Ned's grandma's house was not the first portal that Tobey Maguire went through.
Well, that's like the thing I kind of understood from it too, because Andrew Garfield was like, a couple days ago, something happened and I ended up here. So I'm assuming he was already in their universe, and then the portal that Ned opened was just that to there.
So then Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield fought, I guess, until they realized that they're both Spider-Man, and then they just kind of stopped.
And then all over Ned's grandma's house. She was not happy.
Well, while all that was going on, Peter One was trying to fix all the villains.
Yeah, just so that if he did push the button, they wouldn't die.
Right. Because Dr. Strange said all their fates are to die to the hands of Spider-Man, pretty much. Which Sandman never died to Spider-Man. Not in the movies, he never died to Spider-Man. Lizard never died to Spider-Man. He got cured in The Amazing Spider-Man as well. So, like, maybe in the future, but, like, as far as those movies were concerned, they didn't die.
Right.
So while that was going on, he had a major spider sense and realized that the Green Goblin was alive and well, pretty much, and was trying to, I think, kill I forget, Norman Osborn. I think kill Norman, so that way it was just Green Goblin. So then he tried stopping him, and all the other villains started attacking because they're like, fuck this shit. And then
I ain't going back.
Yeah, Aunt May dies. She gets fucking railed in the back by the
glider.
Glider, yeah.
Nice.
And she gets the whole, come great responsibility or whatever. Come great power comes great responsibility.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. So that fucking broke Tom Holland. He's like,
I'm gonna kill this fucker.
I can't put it in their ass anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill this fucker.
So that he goes and sulks to where MJ and Ned find him, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. And then the other Spider-Men show up. And he doesn't even question who the fuck they are. He's like, oh, all right. Ned and MJ found some new friends. And then like they're just we're Spider-Man. Like, oh my god.
Peter's in his hiding spot, and Ned and MJ show up, and he's breaking down to them, and he looks up, and there's these two odd things hanging from the clock tower. Oh, hey, you're Spider-Man too. Cool.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess he got a little defensive, like he put Ned and MJ behind him, but like he really just I guess maybe he was too emotionally distraught. He just didn't give a fuck.
Right.
So then he's just like, I'm gonna kill him. At first he was like, I'm gonna send them back to where they came from. And then MJ's like, no, we should fix them. And he's like, all right, then I'm just gonna kill him. And then they all had this big speech, and they're just like, oh my god, we're gonna be best friends.
They all did the point.
Yeah, they did do the point, that that famous meme. It was subtle. It wasn't really forced.
Wasn't
like
forced, but it was.
They were in the science lab or whatever, and they're just like, oh, you're gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? You gonna do it? Like, it's one of those things.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, they asked like Andrew Garfield, like, oh, do you got any friends? He's like, yeah, he tried to kill me. Tobey Maguire, you got any friends? Yeah, he tried to kill me. And then Ned's like, I'm never gonna kill you as long as you're my friend. Like, I'm always gonna be your best friend. I'm never gonna kill you. So it was like a fun comedy moment that comes back later.
They're not friends anymore.
No, they're not. Now that the ending happened. I mean, the fighting scenes were really cool, because then later on, they all fight. All the Spider-Men fight all the villains. What you didn't want to happen, I immediately thought of you, happened, where Doc Ock was a good guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, so at the end, he makes, shit was going to hell, so, because the whole fucking universe rift was opening up, and everybody who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man was coming through, and Doctor Strange's like, I can't fucking do anything. So Peter Parker's like, all right, just tell him that I'm not Spider-Man anymore. And so that happens. The Spider-Men go back to their universes. All the villains go back to the universes. Everybody that let me rephrase the spell. It's everybody on Earth forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. To me, those words are going to be huge.
Yeah.
So all those guys go back. Everybody forgets. MJ doesn't know who Peter Parker is. Ned doesn't know. Doctor Strange doesn't know.
Yep.
They all don't know.
Happy doesn't know.
Right. That's pretty much how the movie ends. I mean, like, there's a little bit after that. It really doesn't make a difference. But, like, he sees Ned, he sees MJ.
Yeah,
and he was going to try to connect with them, but
he made a promise to them before the spell was done. She's like, you have to come and find us and tell us who you are. And he's like, all right, I will. And he kept, like, building up the courage, and then never did. Which
the end scene is he has a new suit. It's that typical, like, very blue. I don't want to say powder blue, but
it's the shiny blue and shiny red. That's what it is, like almost like metallic-y looking color, which was, I think, from like one of the original comics.
There was. I remember a brighter version where it looked like Dayglow red and blue.
Yeah. So, which I saw, and I didn't really think twice of it, but I saw why he had to get a new suit. He had to get a new suit because the Stark suit doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so he can't use that suit anymore.
That makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't think twice of it. I'm just like, oh, he got a new suit, cool. He's living on his own. He's got his own shitty ass apartment, all that shit.
Yep, like how the other movies were.
Yeah, right. That's pretty much how it ends. I mean, the end credit scene ties with the end credit scene of Venom 2.
Which I still have to see Venom, but
I have not seen Venom 2. I've only seen the end credit scene because I heard about it, so I had to watch it. So the end credit scene of Venom 2 is basically he gets teleported to the MCU. He sees Peter Parker on the news being told that he's Spider-Man. And Venom's like, I need to meet this Spider-Man, licks the TV. So at the end credit scene of Spider-Man, they're in like a Mexican bar. And basically Tom Hardy's like, so there's a Tin Man that flies. There's a big green guy that gets angry. There's aliens that killed half the population. Like, he's just running down all the past events of the MCU. And then, so he's like, oh, maybe we should go to New York City and talk to the Spider-Man guy. And then he gets fucking, like, ripped back into the Sonyverse, we'll call it. But then it pans down, and there's they're not big.
He's in the symbiote. Yep.
Yeah, there's a glob of the symbiote, the Venom symbiote. So basically signifying that Venom, one form or another, will be in the MCU.
Nice.
Gotta hope it's not Topher Grace.
I don't think it will be.
Okay, good.
I mean, essentially, that's the movie. There's a lot that goes. I mean, obviously, dialogue and action and all that shit is involved with it. But I just hated how the ending was what was going to happen a half hour into the movie. It's like you couldn't think of a different ending.
What did you think of? Did you pick out the people that were trying to come through the rift at the end? There's only two that I could really identify. I kind of had to do a little bit more research to see if I knew any of the other ones, but I did see Rhino.
Yeah, I saw Rhino.
And I saw Scorpion.
I didn't see Scorpion. I saw Rhino.
And there was another guy with a staff, and I don't know who that was.
I was going to say, the guy with the staff I've seen before. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy?
I can't
maybe
remember.
Maybe it was the first, maybe it was Infinity War. The big dude with like the fucking 3 sets of lights for eyes or whatever, and the big staff.
Yeah.
I can't think what his name is. I know it, but like if somebody were to tell me, I'd be like, yeah, it's that, but I can't think of it right now. He was one I recognized, but there was a bunch of people I couldn't say. I couldn't pick them all out. I will say though, like the wording of the spell makes me believe that you got Captain Marvel off planet, the Guardians, you got Thor, you got, who knows who else, all the other Avengers that are off doing their own thing. They're not on Earth. Do they know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man?
Right. None of that. It's not like the Avengers don't know who Spider-Man is. So when he goes back to like the Avengers facility, he'd be like, hey, I'm Spider-Man. And be like, oh, here, I'm going to introduce myself again. So.
Yeah, well, that's like, it's not that people forgot Spider-Man. They just forgot that who is Spider-Man. Yeah. Which, a plot hole that really pisses me off is the school made a shrine with Peter Parker as Spider-Man. So it's like first day of school. You go in, you can fucking easily connect the dots. Be like, oh, he's Spider-Man. Oh my god! Like, but I'm guessing that I'm guessing that the whole spell just completely wipes off the identity of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
It's not just that they don't know who he is. Like, even like, all right, Aunt May dies. Ned and MJ go to the funeral because they know who Aunt May is. But they're just like, whose aunt is she?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Well, it's like,
yeah. Like Aunt May. She had nephews, nieces? Like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
We just hung out with this 40 to 50-year-old woman. Like,
yeah, why are we here? Well, it's like when he goes to the grave site and he's talking to her and Happy shows up. He's like, how'd you know her? He's like, because of Spider-Man. Like, yeah, me too. Like, okay. Like, so you were just hanging out with her because of Spider-Man, man? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it had its holes. Especially superhero movies do. Oh, I mean, it was good. It was a really fun movie, especially going to theaters to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But the rewatchability, it's if I had to watch an MCU movie over again, it's not even top
it's
5
not up
for
there.
me.
Yep. I mean, the nostalgia factor for me did it a lot because I grew up with, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. So those were like the first real taste of superhero movies that we had growing up. So that one was like, oh shit. But I kind of like the new nuances that they kind of had like jabs back to the other Spider-Man movies with them. So I was like, all right, that's kind of cool that they kind of tied all that together. So I enjoyed that.
There was certain lines of the movies that literally were callbacks to, like, Tobey Maguire says something that he said in the original Spider-Man movies. Yep. Andrew Garfield said something that he said in the original, Amazing Spider-Man movies. Yep. Like, even Green Goblin said, like, it was certain lines that were just,
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah, like it was some things like that where it's like, all right, like, it was really good callbacks to it. But Yeah,
So it was Star Force, or it was Star Wars: Force Awakens, with Spider-Man.
Wow.
Can't
Thanks.
say
Thanks.
no.
Thanks for ruining that.
I love
Honest.
Force Awakens, one of my favorite Star Wars, but I mean that was a big part of that movie with all nostalgia, which they're starting to do quite a bit with movies right now, rather than remake
They've ran out of
movies.
ideas.
Yeah, rather
Yeah.
than just doing remakes, they remake it and they add a whole bunch of nostalgia to it because it gets the reactions that it does. But
Look at Mandalorian with Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker.
oh yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair comparison, honestly. And I would honestly say probably Force Awakens has a better plot.
Yeah.
Like Force Awakens couldn't have ended a half hour into the movie, where Spider-Man could.
Coulda. Yeah.
what was he on trial for?
Basically, he was on
Murdering.
trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was being convicted of murdering Mysterio.
Mysterio and causing the destruction in London.
Yeah.
So
Because of
everybody
that.
still thinks Mysterio's a good guy in the film. I really
Yep.
don't remember. That's what was that? Far From Home.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only Tom Holland Spider-Man that I've seen. So like I honestly don't remember the ending other than it was everybody knew who Peter Parker was. I don't remember how he beat Mysterio.
Basically beat Mysterio with using his spider.
Peter
sense.
Tingle.
Yeah, it's Peter
Yes.
Tingle. Yeah, basically nobody knew that. Like Mysterio made a video explaining that, like editing to the point where it made
Peter.
Spider-Man out to be the one
Yeah.
behind all the drones.
The
and
drone
all that.
attacks. Yep.
Especially because of it being Stark Tech and Spider-Man being so close to Iron Man, like it was pretty easy to.
He said he's going to be the next Iron Man. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Or the next Tony Stark.
So yeah, he made one last video, basically making him out to still be the good guy.
And then what'd you think of the other end credit scene for the pretty much?
The
I
trailer?
assumed it was a trailer for the new Doctor Strange. Which looks pretty good. But now it means I have to go really watch WandaVision now because
Oh yeah, you should have anyways. The first 4 episodes are garbage.
all
But
right,
after
I'll watch.
like episode 5 and up, it's really good.
All right, I'll watch.
It's
from
one of the
5
better
on.
ones.
Okay.
And you need to watch Loki. I don't know if you finished Loki.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I think Loki's going to be huge into it too.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to watch What If, but if you maybe watch this Doctor Strange episode of What If, because basically that trailer was the episode of What If for Doctor Strange.
Oh no shit. Okay.
It looks good. It looks very good. You got I can't think of the superhero's name. America something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the little girl.
Erica Chavez.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I forgot her name already.
Just talking to her about her. To
Yeah.
somebody.
What's her name's fucking daughter, right? Maria Rambo's daughter. Is that who it is that you're talking about, or no?
Miss America.
Oh, Miss.
No, not she's not gonna. She
You
might
mean
be.
you mean
I don't
Miss Marvel?
Rambo's daughter was in WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then you're talking Miss Marvel. Is that who
No.
you're talking about? No, it's not her.
So Miss Marvel is the little girl, the Pakistani, I think, girl
Yes.
that can like extend her arms and stuff like that. No, Miss Marvel or Miss America is she? I'm trying to find them.
America Sanchez, is that her name?
Yeah, America Chavez. Chavez. She's a lesbian. I'm more interested.
She's going to be in the She-Hulk show.
Yeah. She's the one. So there's a scene in the trailer where they're like looking through a door and you can see Doctor Strange, Wanda, another girl, and then a girl with like a jean jacket with like a star or lightning bolt on the back. That's Miss America. Her superpower is basically, this is a very dumbed down version. She can jump between universes.
Huh.
So with it being Doctor Strange and the whatever universe,
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness, yeah. My guess, and it's based off of somebody else pretty much telling me, is she's gonna teach them about all the, not all, but about the multiverse. So like I've seen theories, and these are just theories of what could be in the movie. And I'm all for it. Fuck it. Like you've opened up the multiverse. Give us it all. Like the one theory is Chris Evans shows up. You're like, all right, Captain America. Then he fucking yells, "Flame on!" And he's in the fucking. He'd be the Fantastic Four, Chris Evans. You guys know who was originally casted as Tony Stark for Iron Man?
I do not.
It's Tom Cruise.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So there is a rumor or theory that he could be in it as Tony Stark, as a bad guy, like controlling Ultron bots. So like, there's another theory. I couldn't even think of what it is right now. There's a theory that this is how they introduce the actual MCU Fantastic Four too, bringing in Reed Richards. So like, there's anything dealing with the multiverse now. It could be any multitude of anything.
They could do anything they want. They could plug in any actor into any role, really, that they wanted to. So,
yeah. Bring back Ed Norton as fucking Hulk.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, because I saw a meme, and I'm fucking all for it too.
Well,
you saw Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland for Spider-Man. Why can't we have the other three Hulks?
Well, I have a feeling, not to make us go too weird, but I have a feeling Mark Ruffalo is not going to be the Hulk anymore.
Well, did they talk, and was he at all in the new Spider-Man movie with Doctor Strange? Mark Ruffalo.
No.
Because like I'm waiting to see what happens with him, because he's no longer, half Hulk. He was normal Mark Ruffalo at the end of whatever fuck movie that was.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. So like something changed there, which I'm wondering what that was. I'm assuming that'll be. Huh?
He's in the She-Hulk series.
Is he?
Well,
yeah.
This has nothing to do with Marvel, but he kind of went off the deep end politically and said a bunch of stuff on Twitter. So I have a feeling he's not going to be on anymore.
James Gunn talked about being a pedophile, and he's still directing Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
True, but I don't
and
know
Dave Bautista flat out criticized Marvel, and he's still being casted as whatever Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I'm not saying that he won't be, but like, even after the giant lawsuit of Scarlett Johansson, she's still being casted in Disney roles.
Is she? What
so
else?
It's like, originally she was going to be in Tower of Terror remake. And then there was another room. I couldn't tell you the rumor. I was too busy laughing, where it's like, you're telling this guy, fuck off. And then this guy's like, all right, cool, here's money. You want to be in the next thing? So I'm not saying he won't be. I'm just saying, like, even if you're Disney, I mean, Disney's the prime example. Money talks. Like, you can put Mark Ruffalo. He's going to bring you millions of dollars in movie sales, comic sales, whatever, toy sales, all that shit, merchandise. They don't give a fuck. Like,
yep.
That's something that always.
Go ahead.
I was saying that's something that always turned me off about the Hulks, was that you had the original Hulk, which I forgot who played. It was Christian Bale. Was the first Hulk. I forgot his name.
I don't even know his name. Yeah.
And then Edward Norton took over in the next one. I'm like, this is stupid. And then you had Mark Ruffalo in the because he never got his own. Did he ever get his own Hulk movie?
He was just the Hulk for Avengers.
Yeah, for Avengers. I'm like, what the fuck? But at least, like, I was glad they kept him. They were able to keep him through the Avengers, because like because the Edward Norton one, I can't remember if that was supposed to be a direct sequel of the first Hulk, but it was. This is stupid.
It was a whole brand new one, which was tied to this MCU because
Was
it
it?
had Tony
Eric
Stark.
Bana.
Yeah, it had Tony Stark and what's his name, the guy that was the
End credit scene.
Secretary of State was in the end credit scene.
Yeah, which he's been in a lot of the MCU movies. Eric Bana played in The Hulk, is what it's called.
Yeah.
Which I went to the theater, driving to see it with Kyle and his family.
Remember watching that? It was either the movie theater or the drive-in. You fought that giant ass poodle.
Yeah. I mean, from what if I remember correctly, which I usually don't. I think Edward Norton did it because he was friends with the director or something like that. It was basically like a courtesy to him.
Yeah.
Like he never had any plans to continue it. Where obviously Marvel did. Yeah, I would love to see it. Like, again, you open up the multiverse, you can do anything you want. You can just have them walk by and just like, yeah, just kind of like if shit was starting to go bad, you could have them start to run by and just turn like a hint of green. And like, that'd be it.
And Mr. Blue show up.
I've been waiting for fucking Mr. Blue to show up, man. Like, oh my God. I've been waiting for the whole MCU. That's why, like, Edward Norton technically can't, because technically that is Mark Ruffalo's Hulk.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess technically he can't with him.
Who's
I mean,
Mr.
he could. In Edward Norton's Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, basically Edward Norton is messaging back and forth with another scientist to cure the Hulk. And he went by Mr. Blue. They eventually meet, and the lab is getting attacked, and the guy that played Mr. Blue gets like a cut, and some of the antidote or whatever the cure goes in him.
Yeah.
And like
That, or I thought it was like Hulk's blood or something.
Yeah, something. And basically his head's, it quickly starts to do, like, it makes a movement on his forehead, like implying
like he was mutating.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck his problem is today.
Go eat your babies.
Yeah, go eat the baby.
That's not even the one that had the kids.
Well, perfect. It's just murder then instead of incestual murder. But yeah, I mean, like, you're opening up everything. Do it all.
Right? Go crazy. No. The stupid Eminem song. Go crazy. No. Okay. Sorry.
Anyways.
But yeah, so I got to see Venom because I really want to understand all that all ties in now.
Have you seen either Venoms?
I've seen the first one. Yes.
Okay. Oh, usually the first one's really good.
Oh, I love the first one. That was fucking awesome. I watched that on the plane ride to Hawaii. It's quite good. But yeah, that end credit scene was great, especially with leaving behind the symbiote there. It's like, all right, this is really starting to tie in now. I mean, back to the actual movie of Spider-Man. I had a feeling it wasn't going to happen, but him not telling them, I was a little disappointed by that. It's like, oh man, but that, you know, it makes for it to be a better movie, to have more plots toward it and later on, or different storylines where like, hey, this is where Ned goes bad. But I'm very curious on what's going to happen with Ned. He's got the ability to fucking open portals with Doctor Strange's ring. So I don't know what any other characters are that are like Doctor Strange-esque wizards.
He doesn't have the ring anymore.
I know he doesn't have the ring anymore, but is he going to go to like, whatchamacallit, fucking the place where they live? Doctor Strange. That's true.
I mean, like, I think he is going to become the Hobgoblin. Because all of Spider-Man's friends have become the Hobgoblin. And Ned says, is pretty much, as long as I'm your friend, I'm not going to turn on you.
It's going to be a pudgy little goblin.
Well, rumor is he's lost over 100 pounds.
Really?
So it's like he's preparing for something.
Oh, shit.
So
fucking Ned. The man in the chair is no longer the man in the chair. He's the man on the glider.
Yeah, he can they can easily do. I mean, there's already talks about them doing a new trilogy with Tom Holland, which his contract is up, so they would have to renew his contract. So they can do it with the Hobgoblin. They can do it with Venom. Like, they can do a lot of things with the trilogy. We'll just see how they do it. They did a good job with it. Like, they did a hell of a lot better job with this Spider-Man 3 than they did with Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire's.
Now I also heard rumors that there's talks that they might do an amazing Spider-Man 3 too.
Why?
That's what I said.
Why? Like, nobody, like, you're not going to go into it expecting to see references to this Spider-Man, and it's not going to happen.
Nope.
So it's just stupid. There talks about, like, oh, they should make a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. Stop with the nostalgia. Like, it's fun. Enjoy it. You don't have to, like, spread it. The moment you start stretching it out thin, it ruins the nostalgia.
Yep.
But speaking of, there was theories that Tobey Maguire will be in the multiverse, Doctor Strange 2. So, I mean, you're going around all these other multiverse. Opening up the multiverse is really cool. It's a really cool idea because then you can pretty much just do whatever you want. And it's fun to watch the directors really fuck around with it and see what they can pull on their ass. It also could fucking backfire and it could be Spider-Man 3.
Yes. Or you have too many villains at once.
Yeah. So
I did like this the subtle comments and comedy in it when they were getting ready to fight and they're like, "Oh wait, you don't make your own webs? They just come out of your body?" It's like, yeah. He goes, "I don't know how, I just do it, but it's like breathing. I just do it." And Tom Holland's like, "Does it come out of anywhere else?" Like, indicating like, "You shoot it on any other spots?"
There was a lot of fun comedy moments. I don't mean to brag, but I'm gonna brag. I was part of a team. I was part of the Avengers. Somebody was, "No way, that's so cool. What's that?" And then Andrew Garfield said, is that a band? Are you in a band? It was really fun moments. You can tell like they were having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Let's see what they do for Doctor Strange 2. That's got it. It was a great way. Technically, No Way Home was the first one after Endgame, but to me, this was a great way of starting the new phase of the MCU movies. Especially because, as much as I enjoyed Shang-Chi, to me, that doesn't have as big of an impact within the universe. The end credit scene might make it, but the movie itself doesn't have as big of an impact.
Because that's pretty much a whole new series that nobody was really involved with.
Yeah.
Where Black Widow is just... It had an impact on Hawkeye, the series. But so far, that's been it.
Yeah.
And those have really been the only movies besides the series, which the series Loki and WandaVision have definitely had an impact on the WandaVision or on the MCU. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, they're making a fourth Captain America movie as Anthony Mackie as Captain America. So I guess that has an impact. But this was maybe it's because it's post-pandemic, even though we're still in the pandemic. So we'll see how it goes. It was a great start, and Doctor Strange has got to fill it completely because if it's a letdown, right now Marvel fans are at an all-time high. You can't. I'm not saying maintain it, but you can't fucking drop the ball completely.
Did Tobey Maguire have a beard?
No, but man, does he look old as fuck?
He looked rough. He looked
rough.
Oh
my god, he looks old as fuck. Yeah.
Peter, you've grown up. Yeah. I'm old now.
He's old.
Oh.
There's some great nuances, like Andrew Garfield saved MJ as a callback to when he killed.
Couldn't save
Gwen.
Yep.
So that
part hit me. Yep.
See, you said you've cried. Other people have said they cried. I don't know. It's been a long time since a movie made me cry. But that shit don't get me. It was really cool. It made me happy. It made me joyful because it's A, that's a callback to his movie. and B, he got to redeem himself. Like that was to me
After
fun.
he said earlier in the movie that he lost because he couldn't save her.
But yeah, it was really fun. I really recommend people going to see it.
Yep, me too. And it's kind of pretty cool that this is probably like the first big movie to come out since the pandemic really happened, and it was like almost $2 billion worth grossed already in over 2 weekends.
It's the highest grossing Sony movie of all time.
Yeah. So
not even post-pandemic, but all time.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool that happened. So
I don't know if it was the first major movie, because I feel like it was in a Halloween movie that came out. They were really high on Ghostbusters. They were really high on.
I should say it's first Marvel movie, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely the first Marvel movie, and it's definitely the most successful movie. But there were other movies where I think they were hoping to catch lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters, and you want to speak about nostalgia, they're totally banking on nostalgia for that one as well.
Good movie though, but yeah, it was very.
Was
nostalgic.
it good? I do have to see.
I haven't seen it. I know of it pretty much.
It was a good movie.
That's Spider-Man, folks. I would definitely recommend it.
Think of it.
Yeah, let us know. Go see it first, and then come back and watch this episode.
Well, if they got this far there, they know it now. They don't have to see
Yes.
Save me money.
it. Save me money.
But yeah, you called it, Jake, in the beginning when we said we're making our predictions. You're like, Aunt May is gonna die. So you were right.
Yeah, I did tell you guys that she got rammed from behind, and she did.
Awesome.
Yeah, just not in the way that we thought. But
Get stuck in the washer.
Yeah. Oh no, step nephew, I'm stuck.
Oh no, Peter. Is that your Peter tingle?
Yeah. I'm feeling Peter tingle too.
All right. So let's move on to our other segment. Nothing else we really had going on this week. Kind of hectic week, so we didn't plan too much, but Spider-Man took up a good majority of our time. So we'll get to our other segment there of Sean's Chin Scratchers. All right, so every week we always like to get together, come up with ideas for some random questions that we can ask through the week, and we want our viewers and our fans out there to also comment, let us know some random questions and whatnot that they want us to talk about and ask on here, and we'd like their feedback and their comments on our questions too. So please, everybody, let us know. Send us a question. Send us an answer to our questions each week. So I kind of have a couple. In the midst of us being off with the holidays, we lost a legend in John Madden. So that dude had a lot of impact on and off the field of the sports world, mostly in the NFL. Well, actually all the NFL, but he helped create or develop or be involved in one of the greatest video game series of all time, and NFL Madden, from many years, still ongoing. So my question to you guys is, which Madden is your favorite Madden?
2011.
When was the one with Marvin Harrison? Not Marvin Harrison. It had the two, Troy Polamalu. I think it was
2000
and Fitzgerald.
Yeah, it was Fitzgerald and Polamalu. It was 2008 or 9. It was after the Cardinals Steelers Super Bowl. I believe it was 2008. No, it was 2009.
Yeah, I want to say
that was the last Madden that I ever played.
Holy shit!
So we'll go with that one.
They went downhill after that. So
I have 2008 for PS2, which I didn't mind.
Who's on the cover of that? Is that Vince Young?
Yeah. The Be a Pro annoyed the shit out of me in that, which I love to play, but because at least as far as I know, there was no like skip play you know, when you do a Be It Pro, if you're not on the field, you can skip the whole thing. I don't believe 2008 had that. So you're forced to, when you're not on the field, you have to watch the game.
I did have 8.
And it was horrendous. It took fucking forever, and it was very annoying. But I had 2009, which is the if it was the Fitzgerald one. What year was that? Is that 10?
10. 9 was Brett Favre, where you could get.
Oh yeah, you can get the
Two
check
different covers. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I had that one too. I had 8, 9, and then 10.
I had 10. I forgot how I got it, but I got it through like ESPN magazine somehow. It was some deal. 2011 I play the most because I enjoy NCAA 11 more than I do 12. Madden 12 it would piss me off big time doing the Be a Pro. If I did a defensive end, which is what I love to play in Be a Pro, the amount of because I would do like fast quarters, like 5-minute quarters, whatever. I had so many games and 3-3 ties, fucking 7-3, like constantly as a defensive end. I had so many games and super low scoring, nobody doing anything. Like it was just stupid. But as a running back, the game would be, fucking 35-28. But for whatever reason, it would always be like a field goal game. Had a lot of ties. The one year I think we had like 4 ties, 3-3, 6-6 fucking tied in one season. This is stupid. So I didn't like 12.
What Madden had the quarterback vision?
6. 06.
I liked that one too. See, I liked the quarterback vision. A lot of people hated it. I liked it.
Oh, I hated it.
Like, well, yeah, because now it's just like you just hit a button and it goes. Where like quarterback vision is like you kind of had to look to your receiver and stuff. Yeah. So like it made it a little bit more realistic. Unless you had Peyton Manning, then you just could see the whole screen.
Yeah.
2008 had first-person football. You ever try that?
Yes, because if you Be a Pro as your quarterback, that's how it was. And I was like, I can't fucking see shit. So then I just went to like receiver and running back.
Yeah. My favorite was Madden 04 with Mike Vick. One, because that was the last Madden that I could ever get a kick return or a punt return for a touchdown. And 2, and it was also before hit stick was introduced. So you could just fucking get by people because they couldn't tackle because they couldn't hit you because they had to hit square to tackle. So
I thought about getting Madden, but I don't know. Like
not worth it. Don't bother.
I have thought about it for the new ones just because of the moves, like the Rams to LA and the Raiders to Vegas, just to have that. But the Be a Pro is so stupid nowadays. Like it's basically based around the quarterback because he's the fucking superstar. But you can do what is it you can do, Sean? Because you have it right. Where you can
do a running back, a wide receiver, and a defensive. I want to see either a linebacker or a lineman.
Is that where you can do the college stuff though too, or no?
Yes.
I
want to say it also does a season or like a couple games in high school. But the college, like in the previous game, the college one was, oh, you're the number 1 recruit out of your high school, and you're going to be the starting quarterback forever. 4 college teams that they have aspected. Oh, and then you get benched because the number 5 or number 1 recruit comes to this college too. And then he gets hurt right before the 2 playoff games for the national championship. Hey, guess what? You're in, kid. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So your whole NFL career banks on those 2 games to get drafted. So if you suck in those games, you're not going to go that high. Or if you do good, you might go first overall or second.
I mean, that's comparable to the show. You got like 4 games.
Yeah.
NHL, you get like 4 games. So like,
which I hate.
I
wish
they would. Comparable. Like they're not gonna take the time. None of these games are gonna take the time to put in for a prelude to your sports career. They're more concerned about the online play.
Yep, exactly. That's all it is now. Nobody gives a shit about fucking franchise mode anymore. Or
no. So like I would like being a linebacker. I did a safety one. Obviously a while ago. I loved being a safety. I thought that was really cool. But like being a receiver or running back, I'd be fine with that.
Right? Yeah, I did a receiver the one year that I was with the Chargers. I got drafted by the Chargers, and I was I forget who the quarterback was at that point, but LaDainian Tomlinson was our running back. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, this is great. But yeah, I mean, those were fun. But I can't remember what Madden it was when you were creating your Be a Pro and you had to pick your parents based on their careers.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was
so like you could have your father who was a former NFL player and your mother is a fucking neuroscientist. So you were super smart and had the athleticism of your father, or your mother was a former Olympic athlete and your dad was a fucking gym teacher, like something dumb, and you're like, oh, that went up with your ability, your awareness, your intelligence, all that shit. So if you pick like my parents are both stay-at-home parents that lived in the trailer, oh, you're gonna fucking suck.
I did. I think it was 2010. You had to do that. You had to do the actual combine.
Yeah.
You would have to lift weights and do the 40 and do the high jump and shit. And it was the first time I'd ever done that, and I blew ass.
Yeah, same here.
I was a quarterback, and I sucked big time in the combine. And it started me off with like my throwing power was like a 46. I could throw it like 15 yards, and that was it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pain in the ass. I like all the load stuff. I mean, NCAA 12, I think, had the best one as far as you could do you did your entire senior year of high school, and then you could customize it. You could choose obviously your school's colors up to the exact helmet design, the jersey design, your name. You could choose 8 to 12 games for the regular season plus the playoffs. And then you could choose your schedule to where you could go into each game, choose if it was home or away. You could edit the teams. You could make, the Newfane Panthers or the Niagara Falls Wolverines. You could do that for all the games. You could choose how good those teams were or bad. It was pretty cool. Like I enjoyed that stuff, which Madden, obviously, because of NCAA, which is supposed to come back in 23, I think. They're limited on it, but if they could bring back, that, I think that it would be a lot of fun.
I'd like them to bring back the ability to, if you played NCAA, when you start to be a pro in the new Madden, I can import this roster.
Yeah,
so I can be a pro from that game, which would be cool. Because they did that a couple of years.
Once they bring it back, I'm sure they will.
And I know they used to do that too. Like you could import a roster that you had from like a season or a franchise in NCAA. You could bring that over to be part of the draft class.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool. But I'd like that. That'd be neat to bring that back.
Yep.
Jake, you got any questions?
I do.
All right.
I'm choking on spit.
Don't do that.
If the purge were to happen, what would you do?
Probably just fucking hide. I mean, there's things that would be fun, like they sound fun, but honestly, I mean, if you walk outside, you're just as vulnerable as everybody else. So like, I can't run fast. So if anybody were to chase me, I'm toast. So I mean, I'd have to watch out. So I'd probably just, unfortunately, hide. I'd probably hide and then just imagine of all the stupid shit that I'd want to do.
Yeah, I'd probably defend. I wouldn't go around to attack.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be like, I'd go kill that person.
I would want to. Like, you could do it for free, no problems. But, they could be better assembled than me or be waiting or who knows,
Right,
so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They could be just as prepared as I think I am.
I mean, unless like
I'm not prepared at all if that were to happen. That'd be fun.
I mean, the only way that we could, you have to get like a group of pals together. Like I even think
really trust. What if you got a group of like 6 people, but one of them's like a mole, and it's like bringing up the rear, and all bang, 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 and you dead.
Yeah. So I mean, you gotta be careful. Purge is scary shit.
Yeah.
I'd be okay if the purge was real. I'd be fine with that. Fuck it, let it happen. But
it's just weird concept to me where it's like, oh, my neighbor's trying to kill me. Oh, it's done. We're all right. Hey, you mind if I borrow a glass of milk? Like, what?
Yeah, you wouldn't have like.
You need a cup of sugar? Come on in, and she fucking blows your brains away.
You wouldn't resent them for anything. Like they tried to kill me.
Like as a boss, you come in the next day and like, oh, you guys all try to kill me. You failed, Barrow. Like next year. So, anyways, this year's quarterly earnings, like, no, go fuck yourself, dude.
Your case is open for trying to assassinate me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would hide. I'm far not prepared, like you said. I would die immediately. But like I would want to do so many things.
Right.
Like I don't even think like stealing anything. Like there's nothing like that I would want to steal. I just like want to go around and just fucking do some fun shit just because I could.
Yeah, that'd be about it.
What time is it? I got some minutes. I got a couple more questions.
I do have one more question.
All right, you do yours.
So, within the past few days, I believe Ovechkin just broke Dave Andreychuk's record for most power play goals in a career, which pretty well accomplished record. With that being said, do you think there is any records in any sports that will not be broken? I can't remember if we've talked about this before or if we posed this question before, but if we did, fucking, I'm saying it again. So you think there's any?
Gretzky's assists and points records.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Gretzky's assists. So you just say that. Like he has more assists than anybody else in the league has points.
Points, yeah.
Like he could have scored 0 goals and only scored assists. He still would be first in NHL history in points.
Points, which is fucking.
Yeah, I think. I think that won't be broken. Career rushing records in the NFL won't be broken just because that's the league. It's gotten away from rushing.
Yep.
Yeah, just stuff like that. I think NBA, everything's up for grabs. Like
Right.
even titles, they make super teams and shit like that. So you could be a part of just a fucking bench warmer on a super team.
Yeah, you could win 9 fucking championships. Yep.
Home runs might not ever get broken. Even stolen bases, the league's gone away from stolen bases. So
Yeah,
won't
it's
get
not
broken.
like it
It's
used
a
to be.
lot. I think.
Nobody plays small ball anymore. Now it's hit home runs or strikeout. So, like, I don't think nobody will ever hit fucking Cy Young or whoever had the fucking record for wins, like 500 and something.
Oh,
wins.
that'll never get broken.
Yeah. That's averaging like you're starting
20.
every game.
Yeah, that's 20 wins for 20 years, and you're still 100 wins away. That's So.
And I
Like
don't think
strikeouts
anybody.
in a game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get that. That was what 22 Clemens.
Yeah.
So you're not going to do that. That's 22 out of 27 minimum batters.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. That's there. I think there's a lot of records that are just. It's not necessarily because of the skill level of that person.
It's just.
I mean, they were obviously great. I just think that those respective sports,
the evolution of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think anybody will break Cal Ripken's record for consecutive games. And
No, they concern too much about rest now.
Yep.
So yeah, there's I think a lot of records that just aren't going to be broken.
Yep, I agree.
Shutout records won't get broken in the NHL. The league is just they emphasize on goal scoring way too much.
Yep, exactly. That's all I had. Yep.
Speaking of sports, do you guys, since another podcast I listened to, got into a debate about it, do you think that fighting should still be in the NHL?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I think that, like, I'm not advocate like that there should be fighting. Like, just I don't like if they fight, like, who cares? Why ban it? I mean, just don't ban it. It's not like players are. I mean, just talking about leagues changing again. The enforcer role is not really there in the NHL anymore. So I mean, I think the idea of banning fighting is kind of stupid. But you don't really see a whole lot of it anymore. But
Right.
I'm fine with staying if players want to fight. Yeah, let them fight. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree.
I enjoy it. I think it's a fun little thing to happen. But yeah, I mean, I don't advocate it like they should be a fight every game. Like that doesn't need to happen because, but I don't think there should be a ban of it. I don't think there's really any negative effect of fighting. in a hockey game.
Other than injuries or
I was
the
gonna say
fucking
player
CT.
safety.
Yeah. But it's like you said too, Ricky, the evolution of the game. You don't have, I mean, yeah, you do have some of the superstars and stuff comparable to like guys back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. So you had to have a guy out there to protect that guy. So you had to have a Bob Probert or somebody out there to protect Gretzky or somebody out there to protect, anybody like Sakic or Yzerman or anybody. So if that guy get ran, I got to have my fucking bruiser go out there and fight their guy because, hey, we're not going to tolerate that shit. Yeah. Yes, we kind of have that now, but it's gone away from that because now it's more of this skill-based thing. So you're going to spend the roster spot or the lineup spot to have this bum that's going to play 4 minutes a night, eating up time for, we could have a guy that's playing 12 minutes to separate to give, more ice time to other guys that could have the potential to get you a win. So, but do I think it should go away? No, because I think you definitely need to have the ability, regardless of who you are, or your size or your role, that, hey, you just fucking hit my dude, or hey, that was a cheap shot, or hey, I don't like the way you're fucking talking to me, I'm going to punch you in the mouth, regardless. I mean, still have the, the consequences and the punishments of it, but not like, hey, if they banned fighting and I just got into a fight, oh, sweet, I'm suspended now for so many games or suspended for the rest of the season. Like, no, keep it how it is, but it's definitely gone away from where it was. But I think getting rid of it wouldn't really do much.
I agree. I think like there's a bad hit, you have to stick up for your team.
Yes.
I don't believe like when RJ Umberger, it was a huge hit in Buffalo. When he got killed, did Campbell really need to get jumped? It was a clean hit.
Yeah, exactly.
If a clean hit, I don't care if it's on your team or not, if guy gets clean hit, then you either fucking set him up on the trolley tracks or he's just playing with his head down.
Yeah, that's on him. Or like when Jake McCabe blasted Line and they all jumped McCabe after.
Yeah.
Sorry,
you put your kid fucking in death row.
Yeah, but like the Chris Neal hit on Chris Drury, that calls for them to jump Chris Neal because that was a dirty hit. Or like
fucking, or when Milan Lucic runs over Ryan Miller. That calls for people to get jumped. Oh wait, he didn't get jumped.
That didn't happen. Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, the only thing that happened there was Ryan Miller swinging his stick at Milan Lucic, and that was it. That was the midst of that.
I will say it still is in the league. It's just not as much. Like Ryan Reeves, he's only averaging, I just looked up his stats. He's only averaging 10 minutes a game. He's got 0 goals and like 4 assists to his name. He only has 49 goals to his name in his career.
Yep.
So like, I mean, Tom Wilson, he actually produces offensively, and I know there's other people, but like, Gergensons could probably get thrown in there, or Okposo, but those guys produce in different ways. But Ryan Reeves is, I guess, a unicorn in the league.
Yeah.
Where he just is out there just to police the ice.
Yep.
So it still is out there. It's a dying breed, I agree, and I think it's fine. But like, yeah, I don't think you need to go up to center ice and at the face-off, be like, hey, let's fucking throw down here. That shit don't need to happen. But if it's an emotional response, then yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think we're done seeing goalie fights.
Yes.
I just don't think that's ever going to happen again.
Yeah. Those usually happen like bench clearing brawls. You'll see the goalies.
Well, right. That's it. It was 5 versus 5, and then it's like, all right, let's throw the goalies in too, type deal. Now it's just like it's 1v1, and everybody else just kind of watches from afar.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen now because you'll have somebody else step in instead to take the battle. The only 2 goalies I really see that happening now is Bennington because he's a fucking nutcase, and Robin Leonard just wants to fucking fight everybody.
I know. All I can think about is when Peters fought Ray Emery. I mean, Emery was drowning in the punches. Just gasping for air after every swing.
God damn it. Jake, I thought you were going to be a better person in 2020.
I'm not. I'm a terrible person.
so that'll never change. All right. Well, you guys are not the biggest Bills fans, so I guess you can't really use that question. But
It's all right. Throw it at us.
fine. What player in their prime would you bring back to play on the Bills right now?
Chris Kelsey.
He wasn't even the best Bill in his prime on those teams.
Oh shit, he went to Nebraska. Chris Kelsey.
You're so confident in bullshit with the Nebraska Chris Kelsey.
I'm bringing back Thurman Thomas. Give us a fucking run game.
Richie Incognito.
Yeah, you want to talk about a head case? Fucking trying to kill people with dumbbells in a gym.
Wanted to cut his dad's head off. Hey, guess what? He's a Super Bowl champ. Wasn't he there last year with Tampa when they won it?
No, he's been on the Raiders.
I thought he was with Tampa Bay.
No, he's been on the Raiders ever since he left. Because that's why it was hilarious. Where it's like, oh, he's a head case. Oh, he's going to work with John Gruden. Cool, that'll work out.
Oh, I could have sworn he was with Tampa Bay.
No. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Thurman. I was more, when I thought about it, I was more looking at like Bruce Smith on the defense. Especially if you're doing a 4-3. Like, he was dominating when you're on a 3-4. If you had a 4-3, he would just, his record might not ever be touched either.
Yep.
And if he had what, 200 sacks, I think it was in his career. If he was in a 4-3, he'd probably be about 250, 260 sacks. Like, I remember watching an interview, and basically he was pissed off that he was in a 3-4. And he's like, I felt like I was playing with one arm behind my back. It's like, you still had 200 sacks, so you were playing with one arm behind your back?
Yeah.
Like, God damn.
Just imagine what he could have done.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, I think about defense. Running back, I mean, you can't go wrong with Thurman Thomas, especially he was ahead of the time as far as being a receiving back. But, like, this offensive line is so bad. You could have fucking Emmitt Smith back there, and I think you're still going to have a mediocre offensive run game.
True.
But, yeah. So you're sticking with Chris Kelsey?
What about Stevie Johnson?
I have so many receivers now. It's such a loaded. Like, I mean, there's no answers, wrong answer. I thought about Brian Moorman. Fuck yeah, have him come back. He was just leading the charge over the weekend, actually. But Chris Kelsey, good pick. Nebraska. Now, same question, but on the Sabres. What Sabre in their prime would you want to play on the team now?
I guess Hasek. Hasek or the Drury Briere duo, if you could bring both of them back as a duo.
I'm going to bring him back in 2008. You can't bring him back now. I know.
Jack Eichel. I'd probably bring back like
Brendan Lemieux.
Yeah, there's a goon for you.
Biting people.
Yeah, bring back Rob Ray. Just go out there and fucking kill people.
I would bring back Tim Connolly.
Yeah.
I think Tim Connolly in his prime and the way the league is set up now, he'd be better than Jack Eichel was on the Sabres. Like, he was such a great player, two-way player, playmaker, sniper when he wanted to be a sniper.
Yeah. I'd say
he was a more reckless Datsuk. Like, Datsuk knew how to play within the league and his skill. And Connolly had the same skill. He just didn't have the awareness to do it. He was cutting blue lines and getting annihilated.
Give me McGillney.
Give
me that goal
scorer. He's not even good enough for the Hall of Fame.
I know. Fucking horse shit. Yep. Give me that goal scorer. That fucking Russian speed.
Jay McKee.
Solid
top
defenseman. Yeah.
Jeez.
His ankle blockers.
Yeah. I mean,
goddamn staph infection.
Fucking minutes away from getting that shit chopped off.
Yeah, you should have fucking played. Goddamn bullshit.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much all I got.
All right.
I mean, I have other questions, but save them for another time.
Yep. I like that idea. Well, I'm glad we got to do it. Unfortunately, we're a little delayed, but
It's a week delayed. I'll have this uploaded for this week.
It's holidays.
Yeah.
fucking busy times.
Busy times. Dealing with families, getting our dicks sucked. Not by families. That's wrong. No, West Virginia.
That's Alabama.
We got people in Alabama, so I can't talk shit about Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Now, Ray Emery drowning. I can talk shit about that. Who was that pitcher in Miami that died? Fernandez?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to drive his boat to save Emery, but he was too coked out, so he died too.
He crashed too.
Right into a rock.
Yeah, that rock's name was Ray Emery.
And Roy Halladay tried to fly over.
Yeah. Yeah, there they are. Rah! I heard they got drugs on there too. Rah!
And the Russian junior team was flying over too.
Yeah, they're just fucking crazy.
Speaking of that,
I'm not making fun of Russians. They'll come find me and they'll kill me.
Speaking of that, did you hear about the Russian junior team?
Got kicked off a flight.
So, amidst the juniors getting canceled, Ricky, the World Junior Tournament getting canceled, the Russian junior team was flying back from Calgary or wherever the junior team tournament was going on back to Russia. Yeah, okay. And they got kicked off the flight for one, they weren't listening to directions on having to wear their masks, and they're fucking smoking cigarettes on the fucking plane. No,
Can't do that.
Get the fuck off. You're done.
Taking our freedoms away from everything now. Jeez. Forcing me to get the fucking needle, and now I can't smoke on planes. God damn it. I might as well just kick my wife, like Ray Rice and Tyreek Hill and all those other NFL players.
And fucking Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt, best kicker in the league.
Yeah. His kicking rating in Madden is
shirt off.
Yeah, his kicking rating in Madden is 99.
It better be. I'd be disappointed if it wasn't.
Side note: Vikings have a new best receiver, Garrett Bradbury.
The center. That was a great play,
dude. I was so stoked.
Yeah,
I was so happy. I was like, "This is why I'm watching this game."
Yep. That's right there. Let's play the game.
That was the only highlight of the game for the Vikings.
Yep.
Well, the Vikings suck. That's why.
Yep, we do. We sure do. I was cheering for the Bills yesterday. I can tell you that. I was watching it in the airport.
That was a shit game too.
I know. Goddamn Josh Allen and his fucking shitty picks. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah, going into that week, man, if you had a halfway decent game, you'd probably be back into the MVP conversation. Not no more.
No, not with his passer rating of a 17.
17.
Yeah, I loved how he was another 3 straight incompletions on the 2-yard line. So then he finally ran it in after they got lucky on that fucking pass interference.
Oh.
Fucking shit.
And then the next 2 consecutive plays for him, 2 consecutive passes for picks. Like, fuck.
Some of them were deflected, which I get, but even the guy you were trying to throw it to.
Yeah, were you forced?
They're blanketed. Like, throw it away or something like that. Like, they're third downs, but so if you're gonna try forcing it, force it deep, so that way it's similar to a punt. But just stupid. Luckily, we had a running game.
Yep.
I'm excited for the playoffs coming up. It's kind of cool to see Cincinnati back in it.
That's a good team. Jamar Chase is a great fucking receiver.
Tennessee fucking right now is the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Are they? They took it away from Kansas City now?
Yeah.
Tennessee's like you're waiting for them to just get over that hump because it's like they can get there. I mean, they make deep runs in the playoffs with Tannehill fit in their way and with Travis Henry, but they just can't seem to.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
not
Derrick
Travis.
Henry. Yeah, they just can't
Travis
seem
Henry
to.
didn't do shit.
They can't seem to get
Except
over
for
that
had 9
hump.
kids.
He did a lot of pussy.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm liking how the playoffs are unfolding right now. Get to have 3 games on Saturday and Sunday now instead of just 2.
And a Monday night game, too.
Oh, it's gonna be a Monday night game.
Monday night playoff game, yeah. But this week's not playoffs. So, like
No,
the
still got one more.
Bills game just got flexed to 4:00.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah. Because if they win, they got the division.
They win the
Plain and
division.
simple.
Yeah.
If they lose and New England loses, then Bills still win the division. I think those are really the only that's
Playing the Jets.
yeah, who almost just beat Tampa.
Yeah. It
Holy
was so bad.
shit.
It was so bad that it made Antonio Brown quit. What a
I
fucking
know.
nut job.
Oh no, the reports are now that Bruce Arians told him to go into the locker room if he's not going to play.
Well, that's
Okay.
that's
Well,
what
then
he said.
Bruce
How many
Arians-
excuses are you going to give this fucking
Right?
nutcase?
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Well,
loser.
they said that he's not with the team, so hopefully that is a thing. I mean, dude needs help. He's fucked up. He's
He
got
needs
so much shit off
Jesus.
the field. He needs a lot of Jesus. So, fuck him.
All right. I think that's it, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Please send us your comments and questions and let us know what you think. But we're back. Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Later.